Hey guys, welcome to this very special live session with me, Kshitij, on Shoot Guru, and we have
Kabir.
So this is my better half in the business who takes care of the business while I take care of teaching you guys. आप लोगों ने आज तक मेरे को ही स्क्रीन पे ज़्यादा देखा है, but he is the man behind the scene who makes this organization run and the business expert in the organization.
Thank you.
So Kabir, we've always heard you saying and talking about getting more business, developing more business, and one thing that I've learned and where we actually met and started collaborating
Correct.
was that you always say that networking is something that helps us grow business.
That's absolutely true. So my story is that photography and filmmaking, which we do together, is actually my second career. So I used to live outside India and I came back to India. So I realized that, to get ahead in the game, what is the best way to look at marketing so that marketing is happening 24/7, and it's not only you, but it's other people also marketing for you.
Right.
Now the answer is simple, that okay, if you need many people to market and make sales for you, why don't you go out and hire 20 people, right? But for a beginner, it's not at all possible to afford salaries till you actually start getting business, and the business actually justifies the cost of those 20 people. So I realized, okay, what is it that I can do to really make this network grow and make my company grow through a network? So luckily, the place where we met for the first time was a networking organization, and I attended a meeting, and lo and behold, I was absolutely hooked. And that's been 8 years that I went to that fateful meeting, and business has grown. We worked with more than 100 clients right from that room.
Yeah.
And only in the last 3 years, I think we've done business in excess of 50 lakhs.
Yep.
I mean, don't quote me to income tax, but that is true. That's the kind of business you get from that one place. I'm not saying that that room or the people sitting in that room themselves have business. Yep. Some people may, some people may not. But the fact is, their networks or their people that they know, they refer you to those people, or they get you business from those people, and that's how your business grows. So that's how it works.
Basically, when we talk about networks, there's always something that goes in my mind, and I've grown up to hear it, that people say that networks are bad. They're more of a wine selling kind of a thing. Correct. In which you have to build chains, you have to give commissions to people, you have to keep giving money ahead and ahead, and the person sitting on top is actually really making the money, and the people on the bottom are literally slogging themselves. And I won't quote any brands here, but there are so many brands in the market that do this. With products, with services, and some of them, believe me, I've come across so many even crooks where they get you to do the investment, but you really don't earn until you get more people to do the investment.
That is true.
So is this what we're talking about, or are we talking about something else?
So Kshitij, that's a wonderful question, and I think we must answer it before we begin and go forward. So there are two things, and what you mentioned was something called network marketing, right? Network marketing is, or chain marketing, or multi-level marketing, MLM as it's called, is exactly that. It's one person gets more people. The people who come in later, the sales they make, they pass on commission up to you. You pay commission to who got you in. So it is actually like a tree or like a chain that, the branches spread and things like that. What I'm talking about is purely business networking.
Okay.
Right? So there is a difference in this. Now, why it's called networking is that you are actually tapping into a network or a group of entrepreneurs, right, who have their own independent circles of influence, if you want to call them, or their own networks. So in fact, you are tapping into their networks. Now, for instance, we run a company that we do films and photography. So what is our network? We work with agencies, we work with clients directly, we work with entrepreneurs, business owners, corporates, so different types of companies we work with. So that is our network. That means people who we know people who know us, trust us, do business with us, and maybe we have a little bit of influence on them, right? So that is my network. Similarly, another company, maybe it could be a company which does education for that matter. They do consulting in education. So their network is slightly different. They could be doing consulting with schools, right? Or with other education companies, or maybe publishing companies or things like that. So for instance, now let me give you an example over here. Now, when I say I'm going to go network and I'm looking for business in schools, for instance, I want to make maybe a film for them, right? So I would go up to this gentleman or lady who is in the business of, let's say, education consulting, right? I would go up and say that, you know what, this is what we do. Why don't you present us to your clients and help benefit them by giving a reference of a reliable company like ours to help them make a video, right? So two things are happening over here. Number one, I'm going to a person who is already connected to a school. So their reputation and their credibility is already high. Okay. Now, because I'm a part of that network, and once I have my own portfolio of schools, maybe I can refer one of my schools to this person, right? So it's like a give and take.
Okay.
So that's how it works. Networking is about establishing networks or getting connected to other people's networks and expanding your business. That's what it's all about.
So just on that, I needed to understand, and I know that we met at such a meeting and we did started collaborating because we kind of complemented each other's services. But there is always a question that I get, and the reason I'm asking it because our viewers would have a very similar question, is why would somebody in the market help me get business? Is there a commission attached to the whole process, or are they getting some benefit from me?
Very correct. I mean, that's a good question. Now, networking per se by itself doesn't have any set rules like this, right? So you could be a part of a business networking organization which says that whatever transaction is done between the members of this network, maybe certain commissions can be paid to the member themselves or to the platform or to the organization that is organizing the network.
Okay.
So that could be one way of working. Let's say I make 100 rupees, and for every 100 rupees I make, I pay 2% to, or 2 rupees to the organization or the platform, or maybe 2% to the member who has given me. So that's entirely their choice. But there are networks out there, there are networking organizations out there who don't believe in commission as well. And there your question will be, what is it that people gain? So the question is very deep, but the answer is in the question itself. They gain what they give.
Okay.
And the belief is what goes around actually comes around. So when you start giving, it will come back to you. And so there are different philosophies in which networking works. I'm personally a part of a networking organization that believes in such a philosophy, that what goes around will come back to you eventually, and that's how you do things for other members, not expecting business in return. But trust me, there has been a lot of business that comes to us through this platform, and that's how it works.
And I believe that, and I've been looking at it because since I execute most of these projects and going on these shoots, I understand that these clients are coming from a very close network where they understand who you are, what you do, and what your credibility is, because that is why we are there. How long have you been part of such an organization, and how much has it benefited you per se? Us working together as an organization, and also you developing as a person through these years?
It has, in fact, made a very, very strong impact on the way we do business, right? Now, one thing I want to tell you, Kshitij, is that people do business with people, especially people they like, right? So, the first and foremost rule of business is that you need to establish your credibility, not only as a good service provider or an expert in your area, but also as a good person, that whose intentions are not to milk other people, but you are also a giver, right? So once people realize, once people start trusting you that, okay, this guy is here for the long run, he's not here just to take my clients and run away, but he's here to also give me business. So if I have given 50 lakhs of business to, if I've got 50 lakhs, let's say in the last 3 years, but I've also given equal amounts of business to other people. This doesn't mean that I'm buying their services, right? But this means that I'm maybe connecting someone from that network to a client of mine or somebody I know who needs that service. So your question was, how have I benefited? Now, of course, I've benefited straight in terms of getting business, right? That's a very, very clear, and we have numbers from the last 3 years. And I've been a member now for 8 years, so I have also numbers going back to 8 years. So, and that number is really very respectable, given the amount of investment we put in. But more importantly, I've also given more than 2 crores of business to the room. So, which is like really, really huge that, you get business for other people. That's why you get business from them. But I've also gained as an individual, I've gained a lot of confidence. I've gained a lot of respect of people. I've gained a lot of friends, and all these things put together gives us more business.
Of course.
Because people realize that, here is a company, here are people who have delivered every time they have promised, and they've delivered up to a certain quality standard. So that is not changing, right? That business, that expectation from you stays the same, that what you promise.
Nice.
But it's done in an environment where people also see you as a person and they respect you as a person. And that's how networks really grow.
Awesome. And we keep talking about credibility, and we keep talking about your growth in credibility, because that is the point where people will trust you and give you business.
Correct.
How does one actually go about developing this credibility, and what do you think are the rules of networking that one should follow?
No, I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions about networking, and especially what it takes to be successful there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about certain things which I have gained over a period of time, or I've learned over a period of time. Of course, one thing I said, that your credibility as a person and that as a business owner, they're 2 separate things.
Correct.
Right? As a business owner or as an expert in your area, you are delivering good quality work to whoever comes to you or whoever you're doing business for, right? So that is one thing which is absolutely very, very critical. The second thing is that your credibility as a person, that you are true to your word.
Got it.
You are sticking to your price. You are following certain ethical standards.
Yeah.
Right? So all these things bring your credibility as a person also higher.
Of course.
Right? Now, obviously, we've been in business for long enough, but if you were exactly where you were, let's say 8 years ago or 10 years ago or 12 years ago, and you were working the same way even today, I don't think it will work. You also have to grow in your knowledge, you have to grow in your skill, you have to grow in the way you deal with people. So you have to invest in yourself, you have to keep working on yourself to be able to deliver value to other people. So look at it as only a way of business development. Don't look at it as that, okay, you are there to make money, but the rule to make money is to also help other people make money. That's how it really works. And you do that by working on yourself and delivering value to them. That's how it really works.
So basically another question that keeps coming to my mind is that people, when they join networks, sometimes they're very new businesses.
Correct.
And they do not have a strong enough portfolio to actually present to the room. So are there any tips that you would give to these new businesses? And where I'm coming from is during the lockdown, we saw a lot of businesses shut down, a lot of businesses rehashing stuff and doing something new in the end. Joining an organization like BNI is an investment. It is an investment in terms of money, it is an investment in terms of time. To reap that investment when you start off, I believe that you need a push. Now, for example, when I started,
Yeah.
I went as a guest to one of the meetings.
Correct.
I met another person who needed video services. Practically, that person paid for my membership.
Correct.
Because the business referral that I got in that meeting, even though as a guest, because there was nobody else doing this business in the group.
So you got business immediately.
Yeah, and that is what paid for my first
Absolutely.
year of investment and
Kind of
stuff
you
like that.
recovered the investment almost immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah, correct.
So, but how does one go about really establishing themselves when they start off?
So there are two aspects to this question, Kshitij. One is to do with the networking organization that you would like to be a part of.
Yeah.
And second is a very important question of what would you like to do in your business itself, right? Now, I want to answer both these questions, but first I would like to talk about a general business rule, right? Portfolios and what you offer to clients, that is a very, very important aspect of how you conduct your business, right? Now, initially in people's careers, they may do whatever they get. They sometimes don't get a choice. If they get a wedding, they will do a wedding. If they get an event, they'll do an event. If they get a portrait, they'll get a portrait. So they will just take anything.
Yeah.
But having said that, the skills that are needed for each of these are not the same.
Yeah, they're very
Right?
different.
Very, very different. For instance, when we work with individuals, could be to interview them or could be to do a portrait shoot for them, what we need to know about them or how we need to behave with them or deal with them is very different from when we would do a full event or when we would do a creative shoot where we are directing or there's the much larger setup and we are working with many people on the set, right? So first you have to figure out what is it that you love doing, because when you start presenting either to clients or to your network, right, in both places you need a lot of passion. Right? If you are there and just saying that, okay, yaar, give me work, people wonder, kyun bhai? What is it that you do? But when you go and tell them how excited you are about being a part of the opportunity that you're getting and what you can do for them, and you do it really passionately, at that point in time people start developing kind of a bond, a rapport. So passion is most important, and passion comes in with also knowing yourself a little deeper and knowing what you can do a little better, right? Having said that, it's good to experiment, but sooner or later you have to make up your mind, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. There may be some things you love doing, but there may be some things you definitely hate doing. So stay away from them because it will show in your work.
Yep, I understand, because the quality will go down if you're doing something you don't like.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is one of the reasons why we stopped doing some particular kind of work, because we felt that, well, we don't want to do it anymore, and we weren't being truthful to our end user as well.
Perfect. There's nothing wrong with the work.
Yeah.
Work is amazing, but it is not for us.
Definitely.
Somebody else will do it better.
Yes.
And we accept it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, another thing.
One quick question. Let me just finish this. So the second thing is actually how you present it to your network. So first I spoke in business in general. Second is how you would do it to your network. Again, the rules remain the same, right? You still have to do it with passion. You have to present what you're good at, and you have to do it in a way that people trust and believe that you are competent and you are absolutely credible to do that. So there is no difference in networking to a client, selling to a client, or sell to a room of network members. It's exactly the same, because ultimately your passion is what they will take and pitch to their clients.
Of course.
If you are without passion, then the client or your network partner won't have any excitement about pitching you to whoever is the decision maker. Sorry, go ahead.
So there has to be a point where people start. There are some steps that they need to follow.
Yep.
What do you think people who are starting off with businesses, maybe they could be a freelancer or they could be an organization, and people who are in cities that are like, I know there are some cities which do not have business networks as such present.
Correct.
And these are small tier 2, tier 3 cities where the business penetration is good, but there is no networking penetration because people have been doing business the way they've been doing it for years.
Correct.
So how does one start off in that scenario where you are starting a business and you are going ahead and networking for more business?
So if you remember, Kshitij, last time we spoke about collaboration.
Yeah.
Right. In our last session, we spoke about the fact that you should look at collaboration as a keyword. Now, let me come back to collaboration. I want to talk about something else, but I will connect it to collaboration. Now, there are obviously, BNI is one such organization that has a lot of, what should I say, chapters, a lot of, chapters in India. It is present in over 60, 70 cities in India itself. So it has a very wide network. There are over 30,000 members in India itself. And the beauty is that if you can do something which can go international. For instance, we are offering editing services which can be done online to international customers as well. Right? Or if we get business which is to be shot in India from international customers, and we recently done work with a Swedish company who's coming into India. Now a lot of that comes through a wider network, right? So we get to know about a lot of work that is going on everywhere. So you could become a part of any such network. BNI is one of the largest such organizations in the world. Over 270,000 people internationally and more than 30,000 people in India. If it is not in your city, you could collaborate with someone who is in a city close by and offer your services for your city where BNI is not there currently. But you can tap into a network which is wider. So that's how I connected back to collaboration. Now, for instance, you are sitting in Bokaro, for instance. Okay, now I know BNI is not there at this point in time, but there are lots of factories, lots of industries over there. To create credibility, associate with, let's say, us. So if we get to know of business in that area, because we also are in touch with many industries, etc., we will then contact you to do the shoot over there. So that's how collaboration really works. And we have access to the network which we can then get business from, right? Similarly, you could be yourself. You could be in Bangalore, you could be in Bombay, or any of these 70 cities in India where BNI is. Reach out to us, and people can reach out to us, and I can give them more information about how to become a member. Or if you'd like to attend a meeting, if you are in North India or wherever, I can guide you to the closest.
Of course.
And right now, the way it is, it's all online. You can attend the meeting from wherever you are, and get to know if this way of marketing works for you or not.
Amazing. So there's also a question by one of our viewers, Jasraj. He's asking how to build a brand value of his work to show the clients that what the brand is. Wherein I think, again, coming back to how to actually build a portfolio.
Yeah, portfolio. No, absolutely right, Kshitij. I think it all boils down to portfolio. Right? Brands, companies, individuals, or whoever, if you want someone to put their hand in their pocket to take out money, you have to first prove to them that your work is worth that money, right? And that can be done by creating a absolutely amazing portfolio of different kinds of things, right? So they should be able to see a variety of genres in your portfolio. Again, I'm not saying that you have to do a wedding and you have to do a portrait shoot and you have to do an event, and even within the area that you have decided that, okay, I'm going to do these 4 or 5 genre of work. Even within that, there can be a lot of variety of work that can be done. So once you create that variety and once you bring that together in a portfolio, you can actually start approaching people either through a network or direct marketing as well, right? There is a lot of business that is done directly. You could have an email campaign, or you could have a presence on social media. But even social media, what is it? It is a digital online portfolio. If you don't present good videos that you've shot, or good images that you've shot, or good BTS of how you work, or what your business ethic is, why should someone go to you? So yeah, so you nailed you nailed it on the head. A good diverse portfolio is really the key to great work that you can get.
Syed is asking that there are people who are starting off and want to get businesses. Is in your hands. Okay, he's just adding to what we are saying.
Yeah.
He's saying that you can actually go out and reach out to people who have bad photos on their Instagram page or profile and give them an opportunity to get it right.
Sure.
So thanks, Syed, and thank you for adding that. Just to kind of sum things up and give tips to our viewers, in which you can just look at the camera and just talk to them directly, is what are the steps they should be doing to start with? Let's call it the first 101 of networking today, and maybe in our next networking live or business live we can talk about more in detail.
Absolutely,
but,
absolutely. So the way it will work is that the first thing of networking is that you have to give before you get, right? So when you go up to someone and you tell them, what is it that I can do for you? Trust me, their hearts will open up right then and there, right? So the first rule of networking is that when you go up, it could even be a prospective client, it could be another person who you know will never give me business. But the moment you say that, what is it that I can do for you? Their attitude changes and they will they will be obligated to do things for you as well, right? So keep that in mind. The more you give, the more you get, and that's the law of this planet, or that's the law of Earth. The second part is that you should always have a attitude of gratitude. What that means is that whenever you get business from someone, you must always be thankful about it, that yes, it is thanks to them that you've got the business. And it doesn't mean that you pay them commission, maybe or maybe not, it doesn't matter. But even an attitude that yes, they have been instrumental in your gaining business or gaining a name in the market, that's very, very important. Rule number 3 is never stop working on yourself, because people see the change in you. People see that you've grown as a person, that you've given, you are giving value as you go along, right? So these things are very important in any form of marketing, especially network marketing, because it is to do with one-on-one, people-to-people marketing, right? If you give out an ad on social media or on television or whatever, that is still a little impersonal, right? That's still that, okay, people don't know who you are. But when you are doing marketing within a network, right, people know who you are and they are giving you business, or they are connecting you with their clients because they like you. They like what you do, they like how you do, and they like how you deal with them, right? And humility, trust me, gets you more business than aggression. And I think, you've been a great example for that. You are extremely humble and you are extremely, with a lot of gratitude with everyone. And that's why people still come back to you for work, right?
Yeah.
Because you made a very, very strong impression in their mind that here's a guy who is a straight, nice, capable guy who's done business. So yeah, so it really, really works.
Awesome. I mean, that's amazing, and some really, really insightful tips. There are so many things that are involved in developing business, and I feel, and the reason we started this session in the first place was that there is a gap in the market where people are working hard, people are giving all their efforts to set up business, but there is still things that they're not doing to really excel at what they can and get more business, make more money for that matter. And if they do, like how BNI is saying is that you do your own push-ups, nobody else can go to the gym for you.
Correct.
So similarly, you have to really put your foot down to get things done and rolling and build your business on the go.
Perfect. I mean, that's very well said. Ultimately, it comes back to you. Any form of marketing, it could be network based or any other form, is only a methodology, right? Ultimately, you have to do the work,
Yeah.
right? These are only ways how it can become easier, but easier doesn't mean no work. Work still has to be done, right? But yes, there's a lot of business. People get a lot of business. Let me quote you a statistic. Even in the last 10 months, BNI worldwide has done more than $16 billion of network. That means members of BNI have got business for each other close to 16 billion. That's billion with a B, dollars of business. That means trust is so much more of a currency than just being good at your work, right?
Awesome.
So that's what it is. We have network marketing, or marketing within a network, that people must look at as a very, very viable and strong way of growing their business. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, Kabir. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us. And I am telling you, we are coming up with more such sessions. And if you guys are interested in any specific topics that you want us to cover, please do not hesitate to put it in the comments section of this video. If you have any questions regarding networking, regarding how to join a particular kind of a network, or anything that you want to ask personally, again, you can DM me on Instagram. That's @shootguru on Instagram. And of course, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video and our YouTube channel, because that is what will enable us to get you great content. So here's to more affordable education and better future for you guys. Take care. Have a great evening. Ciao.
Ciao. Off. Are we breathing? Off air? Still smiling.
It's not, it's ended.
Okay. Thinking.
What was the question?
How to convince the client with your pricing?
Next time. That's just
Pricing. Oh, pricing का तो पूरा वो कर सकते हैं हम एक.
Session.
Yeah, even how to do costings.
हाँ, stop.